This week on the season finale of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I don't need to, rally the troops. I know what happened to me, and I know what happened to Kyle, and I know what's happening to Dorit. It's not a coordinated attack. It's my opinion.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 17. Let's get right into this. Alright, you guys, so this is the finale. Apparently, I didn't get the memo until a few days ago. But yeah, tonight was the season finale. And out of nowhere, yesterday, they dropped the reunion looks. And then today, Garcelle announced that she quit. So we're going to get all into that after we recap the episode. So let's get started. So we begin this episode. We're still in St. Lucia. The women are still in this boat. They had just gotten into a fight. Erika jumps into the water. Kyle and Dorit do as well. Sutton is somewhere in a corner with Jennifer because she, again, got into it with everybody. Mainly Erika. Erika had said that Sutton likes to kick the women in this group when they're at their lowest. Jennifer can definitely see Erika's side, but she's Sutton's friend, so she's going to be there for her, whether she's right or wrong. But that was pretty much it. Then they head back, and later, it's much later, and we start to see the women getting ready for their dinner. And damn, these women all brought teams of glam. They all had about 8 people in their rooms fixing them up. So Garcelle says to Sutton, "Listen, friend, on the boat earlier today, Kyle didn't have your back." And Sutton starts to cry. She says that given the great time they had in Augusta, she would have expected more from Kyle. She then says, "They wanted to break me today. They've wanted to break me ever since I got here." And they start to play moments of the 5 years that Sutton's been on the show where they've come for her. But I thought this was pretty funny. So they show all those moments where the women have came for Sutton. But then after that, the production shows the exact same moments, but they show Sutton being the one adding the fuel to it and also going low. But anyway, she was very upset. She then walks away. She's really sad. Jennifer goes over to Garcelle because she just saw Sutton storm off crying, and Jennifer reiterates what Garcelle has been saying, that Sutton wants Kyle to be her friend so bad, and it's disappointing her a lot when she is not getting that support from Kyle. And let me tell y'all, these women, they all got dressed and they looked hot. They had nice dresses, stylish. And then you got Kathy Hilton with a t-shirt and shorts. I can't. Somebody then asks, "Where is Sutton?" because everybody's ready. And Jennifer says she's a little upset right now over what happened on the boat. Erika then says, "Oh, so, she can get upset over being questioned. But when I got questioned, I had no grace." I told y'all, Erika will never forget what happened in season 11. Jennifer then says to Erika, "Sutton just feels like everybody was attacking her. Erika, you were saying the problems you had with her, and then everybody else sort of jumped in, and so she feels like maybe it might have been a coordinated group effort." Erika says, "Oh, so as if we planned it?" And Jennifer says, "Yeah, kind of like that." Erika says it wasn't coordinated at all. She has an opinion based on what she's seen. And Dorit says, "No, that was not planned at all." Jennifer says that she just felt ganged up on. Garcelle says that she feels like she's been picked on ever since she joined the group. To which Erika says she's been giving it as good as she's been getting it. Garcelle then calls it out and she says, "Sutton wants blind loyalty from you," and she points to Kyle. And Kyle, she's like, "Left that, yeah, it's not about me." Okay. Boz says, "We gotta get going," so they get going, and Sutton does catch up to them eventually. They're at the beach, and there was a lot of pop-up shops selling cool little different things. So they're all kind of just doing that. Jennifer says to Sutton, I did tell the girls you were a little upset, and they got very upset when I told them that you felt ganged up on. And Sutton says, well, why would you say that to them? Kyle then goes up to Sutton and says to her, hey, so Garcelle and Jennifer brought some things up, apparently, that I don't defend you. And Sutton says, well, do you think it's true? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's true? Kyle hates when Sutton repeats things like that. Kyle says, well, I thought it was true last year, but you're my friend and I love you. Sutton then starts to cry again. She says that she will leave if she has to because she doesn't want people to come up to her. Kathy then approaches Sutton and Sutton says that she just wants to be a Barbie and shop. Okay. Kyle then tells Bose Sutton doesn't want to talk about anything that happened today. To which Bo says, oh, like, does she want us to all pretend nothing happened? It's kind of strange, and it's going to make things awkward. Erika says to Dorit that she's very upset that it's being insinuated that they worked together to come for Sutton, and Dorit says maybe she said that because that's something she would do. So eventually they make their way to the dinner table. Garcelle was mesmerized by the waiter, and they're ordering their food. Kathy goes to change. Kyle does a killer impersonation of Jennifer Tilly. I thought it was spot on. Kyle's good at that. She's good at impersonating some of the women. Garcelle cracked me up too because she did one of Erika, but she did it in her confessional. Then Jennifer and Erika start to do one of Sutton, like at the when here at the table. But Sutton starts talking in this weird accent, and I'm not sure if she was trying to impersonate someone at the table or like what she was doing. I don't know, but the people felt awkward. It was like, okay, now you're being weird. They then bring out 2 cakes and sing happy birthday to Erika and Dorit. The cakes were super cool because they had like those edible pictures of each of the women and they're cutting the cake, but Sutton doesn't last pretty long. She eventually leaves. So that was it for the night. It is then a new day. They're all waking up. Bose and Sutton go to learn how to make chocolate, natural chocolate from like the actual cow pod and all of that. Bose wants to bond a little with Sutton, but also, you know, she feels like Sutton has this negative opinion of her, so she just wanted to like clear things up. Kyle, Jennifer, and Garcelle, they go to the beach just to relax. They have some drinks and food. They talk about their thirst traps, and they also talk about last night. Kyle says, so the 3 of us, we are the closest to Sutton. I want y'all to think of things from my perspective. Garcelle says to her, look, in Sutton's story, you're the hero. She wants you to speak up for her because when you don't, it hurts her more. Kyle says, but why? Garcelle says, that's a question for Sutton. Garcelle then says to Kyle that she also wants to catch up with her. Like, you know, Bose just told them about how she saw Mauricio with a girl in public. So, like, what is she going to do? Is she going to divorce him? Jennifer then gives some very good advice because, honey, Jennifer got a part of The Simpsons in her divorce. So, yeah, I would listen to her if I were Kyle. Kathy is in her hotel room putting on 1,000 things on her face. And then, just to go back to Sutton and Bose asks how is she feeling, and Sutton says, I've gone into disagreements with Erika before, but yesterday it really felt like it came out of nowhere. Bose says, really? Like, she actually has been saying this to me a few times, that she feels this way. Maybe it was good that she got it out. Sutton says, maybe, but when Erika was down, Dorit and Kyle also kicked her, and their husbands made fun of her. So what is up with these double standards? And that's a good point. And Sutton then says, but I also have to remember where these women are at in their lives right now and think about what it must be for them to see where I'm at. And Bo's is like, oh, girl, it sounds like you think you're better. And Sutton says, no, it means that I need to take care better. Kyle's alliance will always be with them. And then we see Erika and Dorit in their room, and they're still talking about Sutton and all the stuff, and Erika's still mad about the coordinated comment. Okay, so it's later that day, and they're all getting ready. This night in particular, they're going to be celebrating Carnival. Lots of places do this. I know it's super huge in Brazil. It's huge here in St. Lucia. Many places. Bose got them all great costumes with the feathers, the traditional look. So they're all putting those on. They're having a fun time. showing off and all this stuff. So then they head out to dinner with feathers and all. They're having a great time, but Erika goes ahead and asks, I've heard that it's being said that what Dorit and I said on the boat yesterday was planned. So who said it? Jennifer says, yesterday when you asked what was wrong with Sutton, I told you how it appeared. Okay, but wait, you guys. So a few hours before this dinner, Erika actually went to Sutton and asked her directly if she believed this was coordinated. And Sutton said no. So she kind of sort of let her two friends out to dry. So back to the table. Erika says, y'all need to hear from me and understand this was not a coordinated attack. Garcelle then says, we've come a long way and I believe you. Garcelle in her confessional says that she actually thinks it's time that she starts to get to know these women and not always be tied to Sutton. So after that, they get going and party. The music arrives, other performers get there, other dancers, and they're just having a good time. And they start to show the finale cards and what they're up to now. And that was a great end to the trip. Then we see the cameras go up 1 month later. They play little clips of the women in their homes, but the last scene is filmed with Erika. So on August 27th, her husband, Tom Girardi, was found guilty of embezzlement. Kyle goes over to her house and Kyle asks her, how are you? Erika says, terrible. I was doing so good before this verdict, and when it came, I became tired. I didn't want to slide back into that terrible place that I was years ago. Tom was being defended by public defenders. Kyle asks, but did you have any sort of closure from this? And Erika says no, not necessarily, not entirely, because it's not over for her. She says, I still have a lot of things in front of me. He put me through a lot, and this ending is just not okay. Kyle says, I'm here for you. You've been fighting this battle for 4 years now. At least this part of it is over. Listen, this whole Tom Girardi story is horrible. Nobody comes out on top. Not the victims, not Erika, not Tom. It's just a sad situation all around. And that was it. So you guys, next week is the reunion. And y'all, that reunion looks better than the whole season, okay? And given last week's episode coupled with this one, plus the reunion trailer, it's starting to make a lot of sense why Garcelle decided to quit the show. So let's get into that. Earlier today, I woke up, I went to go do my workout, and when I came back, I get on my phone, I open up YouTube, and the first thing I see is that Garcelle quit. And it surprised me, it really did. I did not see it coming, but again, hindsight 2020, I see it now. I see that Garcelle maybe didn't feel like she fit in or in the group anymore. I don't know, but I just feel like this dynamic change that she had with Sutton might have definitely played a role in it. And of course she has other things going on anyway. But yeah, it's really interesting. So now I am super thrilled for this reunion, because in the reunion they show Garcelle walking off, and maybe she walked off and didn't come back. Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. But with Garcelle being gone, I'm super curious to see what the dynamics are going to be next season. Will Lisa Rinna come back? Will all the other women come back? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But y'all, let me know what your thoughts were about this finale, and what are your thoughts on Garcelle announcing her departure? Did it surprise you guys? Let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.